Last night we had the privilege of hosting the annual Thanksgiving service for the ecumenical and interfaith community of Glenview. And when I first came to Glenview, there are always many surprises when you come to a new parish. But one of the things that really surprised me was the religious diversity of the Glenview community. You think sort of in monolithic terms, and I was surprised when you find out we have 3 synagogues, a Hindu temple, we have a very strong Muslim community, and we have strong congregations with long histories. And about 40 years ago, after the Ecumenical Council, one of the great blessings was to encourage interfaith and ecumenical fellowships. And here in Glenview, we have one of the oldest in the Chicagoland area. And one of the significant leaders of establishing that federation or that gathering of all the pastors in the community was Miles McDonald. He was very committed to interfaith and ecumenical dialogue. In fact, he became, in many ways, the pastor of the pastors. Every time we gather, the senior pastors will say, I can't believe, about 30 years ago, I called Father McDonald because of this problem, and he was so helpful. He was just such a believer in building bridges. And we live at a time where we focus so much on difference, divisions. We're more quickly to point out how different we are or how better we are. And sometimes we just miss the point of the blessings that can come when we can find areas of mutual concern. And over the years, the Glenview Clergy Association has been an important voice in this community. You may have recently read our joint statement on the conflict, the war in Israel, Gaza, and Palestine. And it was just remarkable a couple weeks ago we had a meeting where a rabbi and an imam were sharing their perspectives on this devastating moment on the global stage. Today, we reflect on how important it is to work together. We have different traditions, we have different histories, but there are things that we share in common. Building up a strong, vital community and seeing the important part that a faith community can have in contributing to the overall quality of life, to create an environment where all religious traditions are respected and have a place at the table, to find ways that we can learn from one another's stories of faith, to proclaim the power of God in life, even though we may come to that from a different point of view, we may have a different history, a different story, but how blessed we are when we come together. Today I give thanks to the leadership and the vision of Father Miles McDonald to see that something he created, 40 years later is flourishing. And to have in our sanctuary all these different faith traditions was a blessing last night, from the rabbis to the imam to the pastors of all the other communities. As we celebrate our faith today and as we approach the great feast tomorrow of Thanksgiving, we celebrate the importance of this feast in our national identity. It's in the DNA of America to pause and give thanks. If you're like me, you might remember as a child that painting of that very first Thanksgiving of the Pilgrims and the Indians in the shadow of Plymouth Rock. From the various beginnings, just bringing people together around the table. We pray for unity in our world, for healing of the divisions that cause so much pain and suffering, that together we can choose to build a community of faith, a nation that continues to strive for justice and mercy for all.
Thank you for joining us today. Our digital ministry provides a valuable service to parishioners and visitors alike. Daily and Sunday Mass, funerals, weddings, and fireside chats, among other things, can be seen locally, throughout the country, and even the world, in real time or at one's convenience. If you would like to support this effort, please go to olphglenview.org. Click on the gold donate button and then the Sunday Giving icon to make a contribution on our secure online giving portal. We sincerely appreciate your past and ongoing support. Thank you for helping us continue this ministry. God bless.